Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video I'm talking about how eye and head tracking can elevate your flight sim experience to a new altitude. Today's video is once again sponsored by the team over at Tobii with their ET5, a flight sim peripheral that I've been using for almost 3 years now, and indeed long-time viewers of the channel will have seen this many times before. So this isn't any old sponsorship I've done to pay for my bills. I actually really do enjoy this product, and I'll be talking about how this system works, what are the benefits of it, what are the drawbacks, and thanks to the Tobii team there's also a chance to win some pretty cool flight sim prizes. That includes an eye tracker itself, or maybe the Thrustmaster Airbus Captain Pack. With that all said, let's get right into it. So first off, what is this all about? Well, the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is a small bar that normally sits beneath your monitor, held on magnetically and connected to your PC via USB. It utilises sensors and infrared light to track the movement of both where your eyes are looking and indeed your head as a whole. Running through the dedicated software, the Tobii Game Hub, meaning you can use the eye tracker in hundreds of games, but of course we only care about Microsoft Flight Sim in this instance, and in the sim this is an incredibly powerful tool. It also copes quite well in low light and indeed if you have glasses on. Now on your screen now you can see how the eye tracker works. The red bubble, or Tobii Ghost as it's officially called, shows exactly where I'm looking with my very own eyes, and as you can see the camera follows this movement with a slight degree of exaggeration to get the scale right. So if I look left, the view in the sim pans to the left, and if I look right it pans to the right, and so on. It's as easy as that. It will also track your head, so if I move my head over to the left compared to how I had it before in the sim, the view will of course skew slightly over to the left. It's as easy as that. Now for me, there are two sides to the eye tracker in the sim. There's the practical, ergonomic side to using it, and there's a more visual side, almost artistic, when it comes to eye and head tracking. Now I'll start off with what I think is the more important side, with just how useful eye and head tracking can be in your flight sim. For example, wherever you're flying about, whether you're flying about in older planes with less practical cockpit designs and you need to slightly look around window frames, well you can do that with this. So when you're in the circuit and you need to keep a good eye on the runway you're rapidly approaching, regardless of how you track your eyes, because there's of course a few alternatives out there, some more expensive, some cheaper, it does offer a much more realistic experience than scrolling around with your mouse or your rubber hat switch. It offers a much more responsive experience that is frankly a massive help. Now in my experience, the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is nearly pinpoint with its accuracy, and this can be a superb help in situations with getting a feel for the aeroplane and situational awareness, especially when landing. Now before we get any further, the Tobii team wanted me to make you all aware of the latest sweepstake. There's over 10 days left to enter this free giveaway with an eye tracker 5 up for grabs, as well as some other flight sim goodies. The link of course is down below, and there's a variety of ways to enter this giveaway, and if not, there's 15% off the eye tracker 5 right now on their website if you want to pick one up. Now where was I? So I've covered the practical use of this kit, albeit somewhat briefly, but what about the more artistic side? Well, if you like to simulate pre-flight walkabouts, whether that be with general aviation planes or the big bad airliners, then combine the use of the eye tracker with Microsoft Flight Sim's versatile drone camera to really immerse yourself in the pre-flight. Or maybe you like to sit back as a passenger looking out the window. Well, you can get some pretty good views like that. Now one of my favourite things to do with the eye tracker while flying is to focus on a point of interest, really look at it, make a point of looking at it, and as you fly past it looks really cool, as you see with the Eiffel Tower here in the back of a helicopter. Now, for all intents and purposes, the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 is pretty much plug and play. However, you will definitely need to adjust the sensitivity settings to get it right for you, and this is easily done in the Microsoft Flight Sim settings menu as normal. Now, when this product was first released and first made compatible for the sim, the settings side was pretty lackluster. To be honest, it made it a bit complicated at the time, but the team have focused on this, and it's clearly been updated, giving you total control. So if you want only your eyes to be tracked, as opposed to your head movement, you can set that with relative ease. If you find it a bit too unresponsive, you can boost the sensitivity. And of course, one setting I really recommend you set is the toggle head tracking control, and I've got this set on my keyboard. As cool as eye and head tracking is, there may be times where you just need to focus, especially if you're reading, and you might want to turn tracking off. With this tool, with this control even, you can do it with a press of a button, or in my case, 2 keys assigned to my keyboard, and that makes life a lot easier. It means you don't have to go into a menu and click off yourself. So I think I've established some good uses for the Tobii Eye Tracker 5. It makes a massive difference, and to be honest with you, when I'm flying around in my Cessna 152, which is the aircraft I'm learning to fly in real life, but when I'm using it on the sim, I want to be able to simulate how I'd fly in real life. And of course, in real life, I'm not sitting there with my head fixed in one space. I'm looking around, I'm twisting my head around to look for points of interest, to look for the runway, all very important stuff. And with sometimes a mouse, you can be a bit too slow, it can be a bit too fiddly. So the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 definitely is a fantastic option for that. That being said, like everything, it's not perfect. There are some drawbacks. The main one here is price. Even with the aforementioned 15% discount, it still retails here in the UK for around £238. That is rather pricey. And when you consider that there are alternative products out there that can be a lot cheaper, well, that will be a price that is hard to swallow for some people. Now, in fairness, compared to some competitors, this product is a lot less intrusive. You don't need to wear anything, you don't need to wear a hat for your IR receiver. It literally is standalone. That being said, the one other drawback I have is there's no option to lock where your eye tracker is looking, or where you're looking I should say. This is a feature that I believe has been incorporated on some Track IR devices, and this means when you're getting up close to a flight computer or the EFB and you still want to use eye tracking, you can press a button to just pause where you're looking and then release the button and you're back to your eyes being tracked. But honestly, aside from that, it really is a superb product. There's a few drawbacks, as I've just said, but I definitely think the pros outweigh the cons. And if you don't believe me, well, you don't need to go far, just scroll back on my channel to find a video where I've used this, because I have done numerous times before. Yes, it's a bit pricey, but I think the effect it brings about is rather magical. I've been using it for 3 years, so if you haven't looked into it, it may be worth a punt. It's not for everyone, but I definitely think it's really cool. And on that note, I think it is time to wrap up. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, do be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Once again, a big thank you to the Tobii team for sponsoring this video. And if you'd like to be in the chance of winning a Tobii Eye Tracker 5 or some other Flight Sim goodies, then of course enter their sweepstake down below. On that note guys, have a fantastic day. I'll see you all very soon, and bye bye.